Welcome to the Hyperpolyglot Activist. Learn languages, make a difference. My name is Dr. Carlos Yebra Lopez, and today we have a very special guest, Martin Weiss. Martin, welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This is fun. But my draft board during the Vietnam War said, hey, if you're going to be out of school, you lose your student deferment, and we're going to have to send you to the demilitarized zone straight there to Vietnam, and you're going to be drafted.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, wait a minute, I'm working in a school. Suppose I take some courses there. And he said, okay, but you have to take full-time courses. And despite the fact that it's intensive, despite the fact that it's one-on-one, they didn't care. It had to be full-time. I had to provide a certificate from the director of the school regularly to the draft board to prove that I was taking full-time courses. And that was my second lucky break, because I couldn't be lazy. I had to study 6-8 hours a day and teach enough to pay for all those lessons.
And
So
you were teaching Portuguese and learning which languages?
I was teaching Portuguese, Spanish, and English,
Right.
and I was learning first to improve my French, which I had learned in Brazil. Second, German, which I had also started learning in Brazil. Italian. Tried to study Mandarin, but in that time, very few people in the Chinese communities in the United States spoke Mandarin. So I said, this isn't working. So I focused on Cantonese instead. And then, I dabbled in a few other languages, and then I had to go back to school. But what I learned is that the Berlitz method it's useful for teaching, but for me personally, it was even more useful as a method for learning languages. One of my big projects is to try and distribute the method, get it down on video, and teach the method so others can take advantage of it. Not as a business, but as a nonprofit effort for a bigger goal, which is not only to help people learn languages for practical or career reasons, but also to help improve relations between allies and adversaries. And the second important goal that I think is critical is to give minority languages or languages that are in the process of fading out an opportunity to get better opportunities to be revived.
Right. So let's talk about that. The slogan or the motto of this YouTube channel is "Learn languages, make a difference." So I'm on board with that. I'm on board with
of course.
improving relationships with the allies and enemies, as well as improving the status of minoritized languages. So let's talk about the first one. It seems to me that you're here referring to a geopolitical dimension, perhaps?
Well, we all know that we're in a ramp-up phase of a cycle of war and conflict. And there's not too much we can do to change that trend in the short term, but for the medium and long term, we have the opportunity to foster better communication between people that otherwise might be adversaries. And we've seen that happen when you can participate in the other culture's media, whether it be online or in any other format, and vice versa. You gain a better understanding of what those people are about, and the likelihood of misunderstandings and big mistakes is reduced.
If this resonated with you, there is a whole community of people having exactly this conversation. We challenge each other, we share our ideas, and we have monthly Zoom discussions with yours truly. You don't need to speak 10 languages or more. You just need to be interested in languages and in how to make an impact through language. If you want to join our community, please click on the link below, and I'll see you on the other end.